a quick slide that I want to show you. Yeah, I call this my slide of excuses. And I think this is extremely relevant for our call today because I know how easy it is. Yeah, I'll say it again. I know how easy it is to make excuses. I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt and got the receipt. But what I've learned is, believe it or not, the excuse that you make today provides the downfall for tomorrow. And so watch this as I hit this button to share my screen, because I have to point this out to us, because if you guys remember what we're doing this month, we're attacking the mindset, because a changed mindset can change our lives. And so watch this. Here it goes. It says, I know we got some entrepreneurs in here. And so if you've ever thought anything that's on these slides, I want you to just jump into the chat and say it's me. Yeah, I just want you to say it's me. And so for my entrepreneurs, have you ever said, but the industry is too crowded? I said that to myself before. There's all these people doing lawn care. The industry is crowded. And then you look at the bottom one and it says Starbucks. I know you guys love Starbucks. You love Starbies. Yeah, that's what we call it. Starbies. Did you know they weren't the first coffee chain? Yep, come on. Somebody just say no excuses. All right, come on. But I'm afraid of failing. Yeah, my teacher gave me an F as a kid, and I hated it. I'm afraid of failing. Did you know? Oh, come on. You guys can read. You see the bottom. After bankruptcy, Sophia built Girl Boss. Come on, no excuses. No excuses. I'm trying to help you with your mentality. Come on, but I'm too late. I'm 60. I'm 70. I'm 80 years old. We can't do that at this age. How Vera Wang didn't design her first dress until the age of 40. How the KFC guy, Colonel Sanders, that he was past retirement age. Come on, no excuses, no excuses. All right, come on, we got to keep going. We got a lot to get to today. But I don't have a business degree. Come on, have you ever said that? Come on, I know. I didn't graduate college. I don't have a degree. Come on, Jessica Alba turned motherhood into a $1 billion, yeah, with a B, $1 billion company. And you're sitting there holding on to that excuse. Come on, say no excuses. Come on, but I don't know where to start. You know what, the guy that launched Airbnb maxed out his credit cards? Yeah, come on. And you maxing yours out on shoes. Oh, ouch. Yeah, remember, if I say ouch, I ain't trying to hit you, but I ain't trying to miss you. Come on, we got to keep going. But I don't have any investors. If I could just get the money. Sarah Blankley started Spanx with $5,000. Yeah, I know. I don't got $5,000. But if you were serious about what you said you was trying to do, in 2 months you could. Come on. But I'm not qualified. Richard Branson had dyslexia and no business degree, and he built Virgin, an airplane company. Come on, you guys are starting to get this. But I feel behind. If I would have just started sooner. Morgan Freeman didn't land his breakout role until the age of 52. Yeah, now I know you guys should have been typing no excuses this whole time. But as I bring this thing back to you guys, I just have a simple question for you. What excuse do you have left? What excuse do you have left for not activating your goals? What excuse do you have left for not doing what you said you was going to do? I don't care if you're too old. I don't care if you don't have the money. I don't care if you don't know how. When are you just going to say, you know what? I got to figure it out. Or all your life will you continue down this road? And so as we jump in today, guys, we got this back and forth with each other. We got this back and forth. So you can come off of mute. You can jump into the chat. But if you remember, we just have to shock the brain. I just have to remind the brain of what I'm trying to do. And so the first thing I want you to say to yourself is, I'm tired. Yeah, I know it's Saturday. I'm tired. Nobody cares. Yeah, come on, nobody cares. Come on, I'm looking for you in the chat. I'm gonna have to pull this out of you this morning. Yeah, come on, I might have to just talk to myself this morning. It's all right. I've been doing it all my life. Come on, I'm tired. Hey, Tavon, don't nobody care. Nobody cares. I don't feel like it today. Tavon, don't nobody care. Yeah, come on, I don't know. Okay, let me just keep talking to myself. It was a late night. Yeah, I promise you. Man, I went up to Philly. I was hanging out with my friends, and it was a late night. And I said to myself, Tavon, you missed that car. Ain't nobody gonna care it was a late night. You got a speech to give tomorrow. Ain't nobody gonna care it's a late night. You better get yourself together and bring your A game. Nobody cares. Come on, say it to yourself. My alarm didn't go off. ... Nobody cares. All the excuses in the world. And we're now starting to remind ourselves that nobody cares. Every time I make an excuse, yeah, write this down. Every time I make an excuse, I put my goals on pause. Yeah. Come on, I'll say it again. Every single time you make an excuse, I want you to begin to think to yourself, pause button on your goals. Yep, because I know we don't view it like that. It's like I'm making this little excuse now, but this isn't an excuse. This is the real deal. That's fine with me, but just, again, mentally, pause. Yeah, come on. Oh, this is real. Pause. Oh, I'm sleepy. I don't feel like pause. Whenever you find yourself not executing or doing what you told me you was going to do, just mentally just put a pause button on your goals. And now our affirmations, guys, our affirmations, just real quick, because this one's been prevalent in my mind. We know we got our monthly affirmation that says, I am nature's greatest miracle. Yeah, just repeat that for me. I am nature's greatest miracle. Now watch this, guys, watch this, because we've said this before, and I know how Saturdays we start playing our brains. Today's really a day off for a lot of people. And so watch this, because this is what I want you to say. We've said this before, but I just want you to say, I will live today as if it's my last. Yep. You guys, if you've ever been in a cemetery and they have a tent up like this, you know what this means. That somebody is going to be getting buried here today. And every time I walk through this cemetery, I told you guys, my brother resides here. I have a bunch of friends here. It's always just a reminder that at some point, all of us are going to be in one of these. And because I know that, guess what I do every day? I will refuse to live today as if I'm already there. I will live today as if it's my last mentally. I will live today as if it's my last physically. Will I plan for tomorrow? Absolutely. Will I have goals for the future? Absolutely. But will I put things that I need to do in my actionable items and steps off? Absolutely not. Why? Because I will live today as if it's my last. Yep. Yep. Good. Now watch this, guys. Watch this, because all week we've been dealing with emotional mastery, right? Trying to master our emotions, because that's part of our mindset. And we know that our mind plays tricks on us. We know our mind will deceive us. And we know that our feelings and our emotions do the same thing. In fact, some of us haven't reached our goals or the things that we've been trying to do because of our feelings and emotions. You break up with your spouse because of feelings and emotions. You get in arguments because of feelings and emotions. You talk yourself out of things that you really want to do because you don't feel like it, or your emotions just get the best of you. I know somebody that they can have an emotional meltdown and be angry. I'm sorry, yeah, I got to stop saying the P word. Be upset and angry in the morning. And because that one incident got them upset and angry in the morning, by 5 o'clock in the afternoon, they still upset and angry. Yep. And so what I have to do, I have to call us out today, but I have to bring our attention to the emotional immaturity some of us show. Because if you can't control your emotions, it's going to be really hard to control your life. Yep. And so watch this, guys. Watch this. Because what I want to do today, I don't want to just talk about it, but I want to provide you guys with some systems. Come on, somebody just say systems. Yeah, Saturday. I want to provide you with some systems for emotional growth. Yep, hallelujah. I'm looking for you guys. I got to make sure you guys ain't going to sleep on me. I know Saturday in the bed, in the morning, when it's warm, the heck with personal development. And then here we have a small group of people that are thinking differently. Yeah, systems. And so watch this. The first system for emotional growth: awareness and identification. Awareness and identification. In other words, the growth area for us, part one is just being able to identify the emotions we're feeling, right? Part two is doing that in real time. Recognizing and labeling emotions in real time. And so what does that mean? Yeah, come on. I got 4 things for us: awareness, and identification. Number 1, pause before reacting. Yep, come on, you guys are writing this down. Use a 3-second rule. We're going to master these emotions. Anytime something happens, I won't just react out of emotion. I will pause for 3 seconds before reacting. Yep, come on, the second thing, name that emotion. Yeah, I'm going to ask, am I angry? Am I anxious? I've done this before. You got it. Sometimes I just bring it to God, like, oh God, I don't know what this feeling is. Can you help me put a word to it? I tell you guys all the time, words are important. Can you help me put a word to this? What is this that I'm feeling? Is it anger? Is it sorrow? What is this? Yeah, but when you can put a word to it, when you can name the emotion, it helps you figure it out. Yeah, is it disappointment? All right, come on, watch this. The third thing, tracking your triggers. Yeah, keeping a daily emotional journal. It could even just be one line, but you're tracking the things that triggered you. Yeah, today I've realized I got super upset when somebody didn't hold the door for me. Yeah, every time somebody cuts me off in traffic, I get angry. I realized today that when I listen to a certain type of music or a certain type of song or a certain artist, my emotions kind of change. And I went from happy to moody, and I was thinking about drugs. Come on, that's happened to me. I just got to be honest with you guys. I listen to rappers, and this is why I'm intentional about starting my day with gospel music. I'm intentional about ending my day. I'm intentional about who I listen to. Why? Because you got to track it. And then watch this, guys. Watch this, because the second system. Well, the first system was awareness and identification. But you guys got to understand that these systems are things that you can put in place because we can't rely on ourselves. Yeah, I'll say it again. If you try to solely rely on yourselves, when the days you feel like it and the days you don't feel like it, you'll easily fall off. But when there's a system in place, what the system helps us to do is remove the feelings, remove the thought, and remove the emotion, and we just rely on the system. And so the second system, reframing your thoughts. We call this cognitive appraisal. cognitive reappraisal. Yeah, so the first step in reframing our thoughts is I want you to identify the story that you're telling yourself. For example, I failed equals I'm not good enough. Why are you telling yourself that story? What if I failed meant I didn't study enough? What if I failed meant I didn't learn the information correctly? What if I failed wasn't the end? Yep, the second thing as we reframe our thoughts, you ask yourself, is there another way to look at this? Yeah, I live by the saying there's always three sides to a story. And I love when somebody calls you and they tell you the whole side to the story. I can't believe this person did this, and that. And I'm like, man, that's crazy. And then you talk to the other person. It's like, man, they did this, and this. And it's like, man, that's crazy. And then somewhere in the middle is the third side that's usually closer to the truth. Yeah, but you ask yourself in your personal life, is there another way for me to look at this? Yeah, I've been saying that my daughter, my son, I've been saying that my spouse, I've been saying this person is crazy. Can I look at this and view it a different way? What if it's me? And then the third one, reframe to a more balanced thought. Right, this test doesn't define me. I can improve. I can study more. I can do more. Right, I statements. And then watch this, because the thing that I love is we all can control this. And so come on, I have 4 systems for the emotional part. The system number 3 is regulation strategies. Remember, our goal isn't to just identify the systems. We've been doing that. Identify the emotion. We've been doing that. Our goal here is in real time to be able to stop and say, okay, this is the strategy I'm going to use. This is the system I'm going to implement. And so system number 3, regulation strategies. Yeah, when you manage emotional intensity without suppressing, you can feel those feelings and manage your way through them. And so the first method is the breathing technique. We take deep breaths, you take 60 seconds, and you focus on your breathing. The second one is a physical release, exercising, standing up and stretching, doing something to get your mind off of whatever just got you emotionally eradicated. Creative outlets, art, music, drawing, and then self-soothing, a warm shower. Or watch this, grounding. When's the last time that you grounded? Yeah, that's when you like take your shoes off and you become one with the planet and the earth and all that good stuff. And so these different strategies are what actually help us to begin to manage our emotions better. And so the last system for emotional control. System number 4 is emotional communication. Can you express your emotions clearly and assertively? And so, for example, it says, I feel blank emotion when this situation happens because of this, and I need to do blank, right? So I know it's a bunch of blanks, so I'll give you an example, because it's emotional communication. How many of us can actually still communicate when we feel emotional or when we feel like there's a lot going on? And so an example is I feel overwhelmed when I have multiple group projects due the same week because I want to do the best and I need clearer deadlines from my professor. Like, I just want to make sure, are you guys tracking? You guys with me here? Can you see how it's I'm not going to say it's easy to master our emotions, but when we're cognizant of it, you'll start to realize, man, a lot of people have emotional uncontrol. Yeah, that's not the word I wanted to use. It's the word that popped into my head. Because if you don't have emotional control, your emotions are running you. So watch this, guys, watch this, because what I want to do is use these last couple minutes that we have together to draw our attention away from the emotional control and start giving you guys some systems and strategies to put in place for the goals that we have. Right? I know we're attacking the mindset, but if you remember, our mindset shifts, our mindset changes so we can continue to chase the goals in the correct way, not just so we can have a new mindset. And so the first system, I have 4 systems for this one too. Remember, this is goals. We're shifting from mindset to goals. And so the first system when we're talking about goals is vision clarity and goal setting. Remember, I shared with you guys, I don't know if you know this or not, but if all of us jump into a car and none of us know where we're going, we'll be headed the wrong direction fast. Think if you had a bow and arrow and we had target practices to see who could hit the most targets. And then they pull the curtain up and we start shooting only to realize there ain't nothing behind the curtain. There ain't no targets. None of us are going to hit nothing. That's what happens when you grind and you don't have the goal in front of you that you're working towards. It sounds amazing and you're really active, but we're not working towards anything. And so the system for the goals, system number 1 is the vision clarity and the goal setting. I want you to define success personally. Not just money, not just grades, but what do you value? What does a successful life look like to you? And then watch this, guys, because if you remember before, I introduced us to SMART goals, right? So watch this. I want to introduce us to smarter goals. Yeah. Man, when I learned this, I was excited. Yeah, I've introduced us to SMART goals. I want to introduce us to smarter goals. Yeah, so watch this, watch this. The S is specific, the M is measurable. That stuff is still the same, right? A is achievable. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't shortcut us because somebody might not know what a SMART goal is, right? So S, specific. Every time you make a goal, your goal should have all of these components. S is specific, M is measurable. If we can't measure it, how do we know if you're doing anything? A is achievable, right? I want to make $1 million by the end of this weekend. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that. R is relevant. Are you sure that this is relevant to your life? T is time. We got to be able to track this in a time, or else you'll be working on this goal for the rest of your life. Now, watch this. Here goes the E and R. Here goes the smarter part. E is evaluated regularly. Yeah, we don't just make the goal, but you have to evaluate your progress, evaluate what you're doing regularly, right? And then the last R, reward it when appropriate. Yeah. Reward when appropriate. Yep. So we're going from transitioning from making smart goals to making smarter goals. Yep. What we're adding is the evaluation and the reward. And this is a system. This is a strategy for my goal chasers. And so the second strategy, time and energy management. Time and energy management. Yeah, you can get more done with less stress. And so watch this, guys. I'm gonna give you some strategies underneath of this system. Some strategies, time blocking. Yeah, you block out your day. Yeah, they do this in school, right? We have 45 minutes per period, and then you go to the next one. You can do this with your life. I'll focus on this task for 45 minutes, then I'll go to this one for 45 minutes, then I'll take a break. Being intentional. Watch this, the 2-minute rule. If it takes less than 2 minutes, you do it now. Yeah, come on, this is a system. If it takes less than 2 minutes, you do it now. How many of us put stuff off, and then when we get back to doing it, it's like, man, why did I even? That was so easy. I should have been did. Yep. So guess what we're doing? A system. If this is going to take less than 2 minutes, I'll do it right now. Get it off my list. Yep. Watch this. Energy audit. Yeah, come on. Some of this stuff I'm introducing to us is going to take a mature person. But an energy audit, you have to look at yourself personally and realize your peak productivity hours. Yeah, you do an audit on yourself. And when do you have the most energy? When do you see yourself running out of energy? When do you have the least amount of energy? And then guess what you can do? When you have the most energy, that's when you put the hardest task for. Come on, a system. And if the hardest task is when you have the most energy, you have a higher chance to get it done. Yeah, come on, a system. This is the other thing I want you guys to do. I want you to schedule a non-negotiable rest. Yeah, I'll say it again, and this is something that I'm actually working on. But I want you to schedule a non-negotiable rest. Now, why would I say that? Because I'm a grinder. I like pushing as well. But the burnout isn't a badge of honor. Yeah, I'll say it again. Getting burnt out, it's not a badge of honor. It's not a good thing. And so in order to avoid this, a non-negotiable rest. Yep. I have all these non-negotiables. I will work out. I will do this. Well, guess what? On Sundays, I will take some time to be intentional about resting. I will have a non-negotiable rest. All right, come on. I got 2 more, and I only got a couple minutes. The third system for my goal chasers is skill building and lifelong learning. Yeah, this is a system. This is a cheat code because we know most people stop learning. And so watch this, guys. This is a whole different call. I only got 4 minutes left. Yeah, I'll have to get to that at some point. But what I want you to start thinking to yourself is, what don't they want you to know? Yeah, I had this revelation, right? Because we know, like, the slaves, they didn't want the slaves to read. And so I just thought to myself, like, if I was a slave, I would have had to say, like, what's in them books they don't want us to know? Like in school, they don't teach free tax or how to get a mortgage, but then they have people that do predatory loans. And I started thinking to myself, why don't they teach us about this mortgage stuff? And I started to realize that it's some things, in order for us to learn, fall on ourselves. And so as a lifelong learner, you up your chance for success, because most people after high school or college don't learn another thing. Or should I say, aren't intentional about learning anything else. And so I want us to focus on hard skills like coding, like writing, like finance and data, soft skills like communication, leadership, emotional intelligence. But watch this. I want us to focus on where we're learning through. There's online platforms. Yeah, I want to encourage somebody today to make a LinkedIn. Don't just use social media to just get on there and be a gossiper, but you can use it to connect with people. There's organizations and internships. You can do something as simple as begin to read 1 book a month. But all I'm encouraging you, this is a system, literally a system for your success. Be a lifelong learner. And then the last one, guys, the last one, resilience and mental mastery. We've been working on this one for a while. But in order to do this, the objective is to bounce back stronger from failure and stay mentally tough. And so the tangible things that we can do for this system is daily reflection. What went well today? What can I improve on? Positive self-talk, catching and reframing negative inner dialogue. We've been practicing that. And the biggest one is develop emotional intelligence. When you pair with your earlier systems, the earlier system we learned to master our emotions, when you pair those with this, you begin to improve your emotional intelligence. And so watch this, guys, because the mindset says failures equals feedback, not finality. And so what I want to leave us with is, I know I gave us a lot of information today, but the execution and accountability falls on you. And so how can we create a system to improve our execution and our accountability? Because real quick, I know I'm running out of time, but real quick, do you guys still have and use your accountability partners? Yeah, I'm just looking for you in the chat. Yes or no, yes or no. I haven't checked for a while, but I know some people use their accountability partners, and then some people's like, who's my accountability partner? Huh? Yeah, come on. Like again, that was a system that we introduced in the beginning. And so watch this, because the system to help us execute even more, even at a higher level, and a system for us to turn our plans into real progress, I want us to create a weekly review system. What did I do? What did I learn? What's next? Yep, we're going to use accountability partners or mentors. Yep, because if you're trying to go somewhere, it's easier if somebody that's already been there can guide you. We're going to limit distractions. Yep, phone use, social media, cluttered space. And we're going to start looking for progress over perfection. Now, I have a quick question for you guys as I give us the journal quote. But did anything I say today, is it outside of what you personally think that you can do? I felt like I was studying. I felt like I gave great tangible examples, and I thought everybody should be able to do these. None of these are too hard. And I'm not saying you got to do all of them today, but if you wrote them down, if you heard it, is there anything, do you think that you can do all of that? If you can, just jump into the chat for me. Just jump into the chat and just say mindset. I'm about to close this out. Mindset. Yeah, my mindset is saying it might not be easy, but I think I can do that stuff. The emotional part, the goal setting. Like there's a lot of systems that I haven't been using that I didn't put in place that I need to. Yeah, I see us. I see us. Mindset. I see us. Come on, I want to give you a chance. Mindset. Yeah, because the truth is, if you can apply this, you can change your life. And so I'm going to leave us with this, guys. The quote for the day. And then I'll pray us out. Because again, mindset is just extremely important. As you change your mindset, you change your life. And so today, the reflection, the quote says, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And so as we end this call, what I want you to think to yourself today, do a journal entry. I want you to think, what systems can I create to support my emotional strength?